Hey, Planeswalkers, Mythras here. Hope you're doing well and staying safe. I have a exciting deck for you today. This is another one coming out of the Arena Open Day 1 that 4-0'd, and also in the best of 3 track. And this particular deck is extremely unique and something we haven't covered yet again. So I'm very, very excited to be covering this top deck for you today because I think it's going to offer a different take and a fresh change in terms of the meta as well. So Planeswalkers, before we get started here, as always, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Additionally, if you like the video, please like it. You can also like me on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Stay up to date on content like this. And you can stay tuned by following along down below on my Untapped profile and staying up to date on my journey. All right, Planeswalkers, what deck do we have that's going to maybe make an impact? Well, my friends, we have a mono blue control deck. So this particular deck comes from the player by the name of Ash Grabber. So trying to keep a straight face there. But anyway, here's what we got going on. Ash here has put together something pretty interesting. I'm very excited to talk about this. But for those of you that are new, in terms of the deck here, it is mono blue because it's all islands. And then additionally, it's controlled because everything has to deal with more of a late game deck, controlling the board and having an answer or counter to everything that our opponents play. And generally from an objective, that ties in well to a late game match where we have some big monster or something to kind of close and finish out the game for us. So Planeswalkers, with that said, this deck list is available for you down below, so you have access to it right away if you'd like. Additionally, there are links there too for the deck that you can get at. But quickly here, we'll go through the deck, talk about the best of one main board, we'll talk about the sideboard, and then we'll talk about how to sideboard, and then we'll go play some competitive Magic here with the reset. I think it's November 1st, so the first day here right out of the gate. All right, so here's what we got going on. Let's go ahead and take a quick look, and then we'll come back and talk about each of these things because it is going to be very, very important for us. And quickly here, again, as I mentioned, this is a control deck, so it's all about the late game, tying our opponents down, managing the board, and going from there. So first, the only one that we have at our 1-drop is an Opt. So this is a Scry 1 draw card, instant speed. We have Essence Scatter, so the ability to counter a target creature spell. We have 4 of those actually. Then we have Fae of Wishes. So Fae of Wishes here is going to give us access to the sideboard. It also gives us a body if we need that early. But we'll talk about the sideboard and then kind of how to leverage Fae of Wishes here in a little bit. We have Jawari Disruption, so a modal land, the ability to counter target spells, so creature, instant, sorcery, whatever it is, unless they pay 1 with this slip. We have Mazemind Tomb, which we've talked about before, so here we get to put a scry counter on it, or scry 1, put a page counter on it, or for 2 we can tap it, draw a card, and then if there are 4 more, we exile this card and we gain 4 life. Then we have Midnight Clock. So going back to Eldraine here, Throne of Eldraine, we can tap this for 1 mana, or for 3, we can put an hour counter on Midnight Clock. At the beginning of each upkeep, we also put an hour counter on Midnight Clock. When we've hit the 12th hour counter, we shuffle our hand and our graveyard into our library, and then we draw 7 cards. Then we exile this card. So a great way to play against Mill, additionally to get 7 cards again and reset our hand. Next we have Mystical Dispute. Again, a perfect counter spell, particularly against blue, but then again against anything else. Slip for unless our opponents pay 3 there. Brazen Borrower, so a great flyer pushing anything back, target non-land permanent back to our opponent's hands, and then again having that flyer 3/1 in there and can only block creatures with flying. Next we have Jace Mirror Mage. So this is a new one from Zendikar Rising. I think I've maybe played this once or twice, but here we can kick it for 2. If we do, we create a copy of Jace, except it's non-legendary and its starting loyalty is 1. Here we get a scry 2, so perfect for that hand smoothing and draw. And then we get to draw a card and reveal it for 0, and remove a number of loyalty counters equal to that card's converted mana cost from Jace Mirror Mage. Next we have Neutralize, so some powerful countering here. And then additionally with our cycle, we got Gadwick the Wizened. So here Gadwick enters the battlefield. We get to draw X cards, so we can pay and refill our hand, and then whenever we cast a blue spell, we tap target non-land permanent an opponent controls. We also have Thrix Sudden Storm. So I love this, that this is in here. So it's flash and flying, and cards with 5 or more cost 1 less to cast, and they can't be countered. So this is going to seal a lot of things in for us. And nice to have a hefty 4/5 flyer at flash. We have Shark Typhoon here. So again, cycling, we get our flyer, and then we can also play the enchantment. And if we do, anytime we cast a spell that's not a creature, we get to create a token or a XX blue shark creature that's flying, and X is that spell's converted mana cost. We have Sublime Epiphany. So this card is awesome. I really like this card from M21. So we get to do choose 1 or more. Counter target spell, counter target activate or triggered ability, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, create a token that's a copy of target creature we already control, and then target player draws a card. So lots of things going on. I love having that as a one-off, and I also love closing this with Seagate Reborn or Seagate Restoration as our final modal land here, and also our sorcery spell that draws cards equal to the number of cards in our hand +1, and we have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. So very powerful here. We got a lot going on in our main board here. We have 21 lands. We got 3 castles. So we add in 4 here +1 is going to be 26, right? 26, yep. So very good in terms of a best of 1, very good in terms of a best of 3 mana usage as well. Many of you know that I like being aggressive, and this definitely fits the bill, and because a lot of the things that we have we can play, which is going to be really important. All right, Planeswalkers, a lot said there, lots of cool things. So again, in terms of the deck objectives, your real closers, you got these for chip damage, you got Thrix, but then obviously Shark Typhoon is a great one there as well, and Gadwick can do some chip damage. So very important, lots of fun that we're going to have here. Very excited for this one. Now we're going to go ahead and talk about the sideboard, because this is going to be important, and we're going to talk about it in 2 ways. So we'll talk about it in terms of how we're going to play Fae, and then for answers, and then talk about kind of how we're also going to play some of these other cards that will be important. So first off, we got Soul Guide Lantern. Thank you, Scooter, for calling me out. Yes, you can only exile your opponent's graveyard, so not your own. So apologies on that. This card you're going to want to play against anyone that's running escape cards, particularly Rakdos midrange is going to be a good one. We're also seeing Big Red now, which is the red artifact deck that runs things like Ox and Ugin. I will be playing that deck for you too here soon, so stay tuned on that one. But again, this card enters, we get to exile a card, we can also sack it and draw a card. So lots of good spots for this one. And anything running a Lurrus deck, you may want to play this as well. And it's great again. So I should have said this the other day too. This one's great against the cycle decks. Next, we got Frogify. So here you're going to want to run this against aggro decks. It's essentially going to shut down creatures, but also, so enchanted creature also loses all abilities and is a blue frog. So you're going to want to run this against creatures that are also going to do something. So something like a Lurrus, this will shut down. They'll lose their ability to pull things back. So you can run this against the cycle deck, and lots of places that you'll be able to run this as well. Things like a Kogla will shut down. It will also shut down a lot of other things within Selesnya. This would shut down the wolf. Lots of great spots that you could, like I said, play this. Next, we got Negate. So you're going to want to run this against mirror matches. You're going to run this against counterspell decks, things like Grixis Control. You're going to run this against Rakdos Control. You're going to want to run this against anyone that's running Planeswalkers. This would be a good one against the ramp decks as well. Shutdown, Ultimatum, those kinds of things. So lots of areas there. Mystical Dispute, again here. Anything blue, anything else that you need to counter, this is going to be a good one for you. Next, Nader Kraken. So this is an interesting card that we have not talked about, at least that I can recall. So we definitely want to spend a minute here. This Kraken here, whenever we draw a card, we may pay 1. If we do, put a +1/+1 counter on this Kraken and create a 1/1 blue tentacle creature token. So this is a great way in terms of board control to have a closer. So this would definitely be something you could pull with Fae of Wishes if you needed to. The other things you're going to pull based off of obviously what deck, some of the decks that we talked about before if you need an answer. But this is a really, really nice one. The other spot that I would play this is absolutely against the aggro decks or more creature-based decks. This is going to help you shut those things down. We have Cherix, the Raging Isle, so very excited about this one. We haven't covered this one either. A giant crab here. Spells our opponents cast that target this card. You're going to cost 2 more to cast, and then we can pay 3, and this creature gets +X/-X, where that's the number of islands we control. So another great finisher that we can have here. Something else that you're absolutely going to pull with Fae of Wishes. Next, we got Kiora Bests the Sea God. So another one that I haven't talked about here, but a very, very powerful finisher. So we get to create a 8/8 blue Kraken token creature with hexproof. Additionally, tap 2, we get to tap all non-land permanents target opponent controls. They don't untap during their controller's next untap step. And then last, we gain control of target permanent and opponent controls, and we untap it. So very, very powerful here. Super, super fun card when you get it to work, and a great finisher. So something else that you could look to pull with Fae of Wishes. And then last but not least, obviously our favorite Ugin the Spirit Dragon, which we have talked about a few times. And again, in terms of meta that I've mentioned, we're beginning to see this guy come back quite a bit. So our +2 deals 3 damage to any target. Down X, we get to exile any permanent with converted cost X or less. That's 1 or more colors, so again, doesn't hit artifacts. And then lastly there, for down 10, we can gain 7 life, draw 7 cards, and then put up to 7 permanents from our hand onto the battlefield. So very, very great at finishing. So again, when we think of Fae of Wishes, you're really going to target probably these 4 here. Unless you need an answer to something else, then you're probably going to go grab these, which isn't a bad thing to have. Obviously, we can kick back for 2 and discard those 2 cards if we need, so that's going to be very, very powerful and potent there. So when we think about sideboarding, I'm going to talk again quickly against the aggro, mid-range, late game kind of deck stuff that we've been chatting about before. So against aggro, you're probably going to want to run Frogify. You're probably going to want to run these guys. So that gives you 6. What would I take out? I would take out some of the slower control counters, something like a Mystical Dispute. You're probably still going to want to run this. You're probably still going to want to run Neutralize. You may want to consider, because we still have these, I would maybe consider an Opt too. The thinning's nice. But at the same time, and this hand smoothing is nice, but at the same time, we really got to focus on getting that board state and control early, and have some creatures on the board to protect us. So that's kind of where I would focus. You may even want to drop some Midnight Clocks, to be honest. That's a good spot for you as well. Next, mid-range, we talked a little bit about Soul Guide Lantern. So we'll use that as kind of our benchmark. So anything that's really not aggro focused or going to be a late game type deck, that's where you want to gravitate towards. You may want to add in some things like Negate. You may want the Frogifies. You may want the Soul Guide Lanterns in there, and maybe even Mystical Dispute. So we'll consider these areas. Maybe even a Kraken. But again, I would maybe drop 2 here. If they're not creature heavy, you can look at Essence Scatters. So that's like 6. So that should really fit the bill here in terms of how you want to flip those cards in and out. And then lastly, we're going to move into control. So these could be things like Jeskai. These could be things like Boros Control that I've also seen now some of the other late game decks like Big Red, maybe you want to consider that too. You're going to want to have negates in there. You're going to have Mystical Dispute. Again, if they're not creature heavy, you're not going to worry about that. Maybe a Soul Guide Lantern if you need that as well. And then where would I focus? If they're not creature heavy, again, you're going to dump the Essence Scatters, and that should free you up pretty easily in terms of what you want to move there. You could always drop a Midnight Clock like I mentioned, and I like that. If we do get Thrix down, so the other call out here is these two will not be counterable. So that's very, very important for us, and very, very important for finishing out our matches here. Whew. All right, Planeswalkers, super excited about this mono blue control deck. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. So I'm going to go ahead again and remind you that the deck lists are available down below. If you have questions or comments, please let me know. Always happy to help, and very, very looking forward to playing this one. So let's go ahead and hop into our best of one competitive Magic here. Almost through Platinum Tier 4, I think. So let's go ahead, standard rank. So there's the Orzhov Yorion Doom deck that I did for my one day late on Halloween. You guys can absolutely check that one out. So let's go ahead here and grab our mono blue, and let's go. All right, Planeswalkers, we are off. So quickly, as always here, I just want to say thank you. I truly appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Additionally, hey, we got Sparky. Look at that. If you like the video, please like it. You can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter and Twitch to stay up to date on content like this. We will go first. We got late game deck. We got some counters. We got Maze Mind. I am okay with this. So we got Jeskai. I actually need some lands, so we'll go there. So 5 we can kick. Counter that. Keep that, so I'll go to 5. Ooh, they are running counters. Keep that one there too. So we'll kick this guy. So here's how we play this. We scry 2 on this one.
At least I look like
I will keep that. I like the Maze Mind. And then you go 0 for your free draw. We know that's there already. That we're gonna have a problem with.
I'm not built for fighting. Every problem has a solution.
So what do we need here? We actually need to go. This is A7. Let's grab blue again. Ay, ay, ay. Grab it again.
It's good to learn from your failures.
One, two, three, four, five, six. So we got 2, 6, 7. Alright, if they got a counter, they got it. Shoot. Oh, good game. Alright, let's go on to our next best of one match. So, in that one, we would have brought in more of our counters, the negates, as well as the slips. So let's try again here for our next best of one and see how it goes. A lot of fun though, I do like this deck. Alright, PTRD 1941. Alright, a little bit different version. We'll play this. Do we want another land? I'll take it for now. Mono Red it is. We'll cycle here. So, slow playing. So good news is they don't have enough to kill
One step ahead of death.
your mage yet.
Solving mysteries is my specialty. Let's see what I can do with this.
So if we can live two more turns, we might be okay here. Now this was a good enough distraction for them to have to use all of their castle. Oh, no.
Why would you do that? Ugh, I'd rather forget this fight.
We'll pull for it. If they have cleave, we're done no matter what, so it didn't really matter. Taking the risk. So next turn we can drop Midnight Clock, which will give us a 3/3 flyer. And then additionally I can cycle the Shark Typhoon. So we will do this. We may be in trouble though. The only way out is if they cast a creature. Let's see if we can get away with that. Oops. We're gonna pay 1. Oh, here we go. Oh, so we can do this. We'll counter. Let's see what happened there. What's that give them? That one I gotta counter. That was a pretty good game though. That was a good almost comeback there, but nonetheless. Alright, let's go play our best of 3 and see how that shapes up for us today. Not good in the best of 1 realm. Good games, interesting games, fun games. but not able to pull through. Let's go to traditional standard ranked here. All right, Planeswalkers, as always, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe to the channel down over there. Additionally, like the video if you like it. You can also like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Twitch, stay up to date on content like this. All right, Jose Aya. And let's see where we go from here, my friends. Definitely an interesting deck, though. I'm glad to see this. I wouldn't even have thought to go this kind of path. So it was interesting to see this go 4-0. So hopefully we'll have a better shot here in our best of 3 match, because it went 4-0 and made it to day 2 in the best of 3 realm, which is always very impressive. It's already hard fought in the Arena Open to get there. Here we got a couple different things. We'll keep this. Alright, so we got a Selesnya deck. We got plenty of counters here. The other nice thing is a lot of people aren't going to know what to do with this deck either. And in all honesty, against this type of deck, we should be okay. Yeah, we got the Selesnya Yorion deck, which will be fine. Can't counter that yet. Taking a risk. If we get Gadwick on and they don't go after him, we'll be sitting okay. Even though they refilled their hand. I was hoping they were going to drop more first. They made the right choice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll drop the Jawari Disruptions next.
Data analysis. What a refreshing thought.
So we can pop Seagate Restoration. So what we'll need to sideboard in is the negates early on as well. And they screwed up. There, they got it. Never mind. I was waiting too long.
Others, I should do better. Well, I'm utterly vexed.
Alright, now we got a lot we can do. So they'll get 10 damage in. So we can play Typhoon. Oh, they're gonna get us. 8. Yeah, we'll just go to the next one, because we're not gonna be able to come back. I can block one thing, they've still got 10. Well, unless I hit... Well, I don't have draw either. Well, I got Shark Typhoon. Let's take a look.
I have a lot to think about.
There's what I wanted. Oops, cancel. We want it for 1. Pay 1. We push them back. They still have enough to play them again. They got plenty of damage. All right, we'll go to the next match. So we need to flip some other stuff in here on the control side. We need the Frogifies. We need the Negates and the Mystical Disputes. I'm gonna drop 2 Midnight Clocks. Opt was okay, but I don't really need that. Actually, I'm gonna take that out. We'll go one more Midnight Clock. All right, let's see if we can pull back here from the brink. At least knock out one win today. Jose Aya. We will play first. All right, we can keep this. It was actually the Trill of Crumbs that were our problems. Just could not keep up on the card advantage there. Which this is one of the best decks. Or well, was one of the best decks. I'm gonna push it back here actually. Actually, I should have used that. That was a poor choice. That's okay, though. Oh, that would have made me laugh pretty good there. There we go. Now we can really start stacking on the midnight clock here, if we want. Let's get our damage in first. Pay 3. can live with that. Yeah, go Gadwick. That's what I would do. There we go. So we can push Skyclave back when they attack in, block Wicked Wolf. We'll also be able to counter here. Push Casket back. Boom! There we go. Just enough damage to get through. Okay. So, sitting good on the split against the Selesnya Yorion deck, so that's pretty good. You guys can absolutely check out that match. That one won the Red Bull France Untapped tournament. So let's go ahead here and play our final match. Finally, we got one through. So pretty happy about that. Let's take this best of 3 home. It's going to be a little tough on the draw, but hey, that is how it goes. But as you can see, once we kind of whittle them down, we're in a really, really good spot. We got plenty of counters here. And for once, they did not get a goose off the start. So here's trail, yeah, that's fine. We can live with that, because we'll be able to push it back. Do I want that one to hit, is the question. I think we scatter it. There we go. It's worthless as long as if they can't get anything on the board. They can still crack it and draw if they want. Yeah, they thought I was going to play a slip. What's that, 5? So here's where that Kraken would actually be a good play too for us. At some point we'll have to take the risk with Gadwick. Unfortunately. That I will definitely counter. I'm gonna tap for 3. see if we can get away with it.
Every creature deserves it, and I will protect them. I'd like you to meet my friend, Stompy.
So all we need to do is drop this and go 5.
I love making new friends.
Return to the essence of the multiverse.
Boom. We did it. Awesome. Super fun with that deck. A lot of fun. Oh, my hands are all sweaty. Didn't know if we were going to pull it off, but we did. So didn't work out well in the best of 1. Worked out great in the best of 3. Obviously, like I said, this is a best of 3 deck. So very, very cool. Had a lot of fun. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we got going on here again with this Arena Open Day 1 to Day 2 top deck here for best of 3. Again, as always, Planeswalkers, this deck list is available for you down below. If you got questions or comments, please let me know. Always happy to help. Again, here's what we do have going on. You can go back and check out some of the explanation at the beginning of the video here. And sideboard. And as always, Planeswalkers, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate your support. Please feel free to subscribe over there to the channel. I appreciate that. Additionally, you can like the video if you like it. You can like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter and Twitch. Stay up to date on content like this. All right, Planeswalkers, you take care. Stay tuned for more decks coming your way. We've got a lot of interesting things still planned for this new November season. So stay tuned, stay safe. Mythras out. We'll see you soon.